What up, everybody? It's your boy Goosebumps John back at it with another video. You know it, guys. So I'm here to bring you a another musical review, like I've done for the past few weeks now, or a month, or a few months. I don't know how when I think I started this video, musical reviews was like 2 months ago. But anyways, today I'm reviewing Stage Fright, which is a non-play kind of musical. It's a horror movie musical, which actually, to me, I love horror musicals, especially ones you can actually watch, like on television, because it just adds more of an interesting feel to it. So this one is actually a horror comedy musical. Now, basically, I'll just give you the backstory, and there's not really a lot of songs in this musical, except for two main real ones, or three, and sung by a group of people, and there's not a lot of single songs unless you're talking about like certain scenes, and they're very, so anyways, I'll just tell you the two songs I like, and then like there's like really like 4 or 5 songs, and I'll tell you why. There's like, you consider it a song, but I don't consider it a song. One song. Anyways, so the movie is basically 10 years before the beginning of the movie. When the movie starts, it's like, I don't know what year it is, but it pictures a actress on opening night on Broadway, and she just had a rave review on her show. Her kids are all there to congratulate her. She has two kids. She has a daughter and a brother, or a son. I don't know which one was older. I think it's the brother, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know. Anyways, and the producer of the play that she's starring in the play is called, I think, The Haunted of the Opera, but it might be The Haunting of the Opera. I think it's Haunting of the Opera, which is basically it's a total cheesy ripoff of Phantom of the Opera, but it's a good musical. It's a good movie, I gotta say. Good musical as well, even though there's not a lot of songs in it. Anyways, after the show, her producer slash her boyfriend that she was been dating, which was messed up. She also was, I'll go into it later, but there's like rumors about this woman that she after one point after the show, or she's in her dressing room, and after her kids are left, and the person left, and a guy dressed as the Phantom is caressing her and stuff, and murders her, stabs her, which I think is one of the most violent ways to stab someone, right in the throat. Like, legit stabs him. Like, she doesn't slash him, he stabs her right in the throat with a knife. And she dies, obviously she dies. Her two kids then move in with the producer, get taken care of by the producer, her boyfriend, and stuff like that. So, and then skip ahead to 10 years later, and the guy, the boyfriend, has created a camp, that's a summer camp called Center Stage, where kids who like musicals can go for once a year, to be themselves, basically, and not get bullied for being liking musicals, and not get bullied for and not get judged. There's this one scene I love. It's messed up, but it's funny to me, and it goes like this. It's this, after the kids, one kid says we're almost near the camp. Also, the two main characters. The main character is the daughter of the woman who died in the beginning of the movie, and she has been living at this camp with the producer, for about 10 years now. After this happened, after the event, and the producer from this event happening during his play, He has lost. He is no longer on Broadway. He's almost in financial ruin. The camp. There's a scene where he's looking through mail, and it's all these notices, like eviction notice, final warning notice for eviction notice. Like if you don't owe it a lot of money, you don't like he doesn't. He's very behind on his bills, and he's what he's trying to do is find a way to get back up into Broadway. Anyways, there is this girl has wanted the entire time to join the group, and the brother doesn't want to because he thinks the kids are weird and annoying. And not to mention all the kids are mostly brats because one scene in the movie so the song is they're talking about there's called finally here at Center Stage, and the one kid after he arrives, hey, it's you, what was your year like? And then this nerd kid says, I got beaten up a dozen times for singing something that sometimes rhymes. And then one kid says that schoolboys sound awfully bad. And this is the part that cracks me up. What schoolboys? That was my dad. I was like, damn, your dad is not a really cool dad. He's a dick. I just laughed because everyone's like, aww. And then they would get caught. Then they talk about how they're here and everything. And then the song is basically about Then they talk about how the names they get called fruity, mushy, homo, pussy, bunch of other names, which I've never ever been called. I've been called a fag before, but never homo, or I think I've been called pussy once, but that's only because I didn't want to do something. But this was also, this movie is one of those movies where, okay, in the song they're talking about how the camp is great, and it's more, and then in the song, this is where I think the kids are all assholes, is because they say this: we had the best facilities maintained by the local hillbillies who didn't have a choice. And they look at one of the hillbillies and he's like, and then they continue singing, which in my opinion is the most douchiest thing to say. They have a choice. They don't have to work there. You a-hole. Also, anyways, so the girl sneaks off, and the play of that year that they always do a showcase of is the play that the main character's mother died in. And with a little twist, now it's going to be, instead of being set, like, I guess in the 1800s, it's going to be set in feudal Japan. And instead of, it's going to be like a normal, like, the new Phantom's face of the Phantom will be kabuki, which, if you don't know, is a traditional Japanese theater production style and mask style and stuff. And she squeezes her way into an audition by, first of all, by signing her name into the audition book, and everyone knows that she's not a camper. And then she writes Camp 23, which I guess would be, or Bunk 23, which I guess would be like a servant's quarters. And then one of the guys, he says, I'll owe you one if you give me the chance, just the chance, all I want. And she goes in there, he gets the chance, and this one guy, also, there's this one character in that song before I told you about, forgot what it's, I'm just gonna call it We're Here, who basically, says that he sleeps with women, but I think throughout the entire movie, he is struggling with being gay. Or, like, not, like, with his own sexuality, because I think he says he likes women, but he's gay. He really is gay, okay? In this, if you watch the movie, you will laugh because he is clearly gay, or struggling with being the fact that he is gay. There's a scene, so the thing is, so she gets an audition, and at first the guy who's been taking care of her for all these years says, like, yeah, no, you can't do that. But he's like, all I'm asking is this one chance, as she says. And he finally gives her a chance, and she says, basically, yeah, I want her treated like every other camper. They all allow the addition, and she gets the technically it's the weirdest thing. I'm not sure if they were understudies or both apart at the same time. But her and this other girl who's legit hates her because she's not supposed to be there. She paid for money. I also said that her mom, if she goes to the mom comes to the opening night and she's not the lead, my mom's gonna kill me, is what she said, which was weird enough for me. Anyways, weird enough for me to listen here. I'm like, why did your parents give a damn that much? I mean, like, my parents, like, I was in plays, I wasn't always the lead, but like, why would your parents care that much? Anyways, yeah, and the thing is, the lead, the director, who's the new director, he's all creative control and everything, is also a camper, and he basically wants to get into Camilla, which is the girl's name, and the brother's name is Buddy. Sorry, I didn't even got to introduce you to the main people, Buddy and Camilla, and I think the guy, his name is Roger, the producer / their adopted father, if you want to call it that, and is there, and throughout the entire music story, this guy is trying to call, I guess, an old partner of his to come and by and get the show, and if he gets there, this is his like one ticket back to Broadway. He wants to be back in Broadway so bad. Oh, they call it New York in this story. They aren't gonna call it Broadway. Anyways, he gets the killings don't even start till like later half of the film. I guess you could say there's one killing. It's not even a big body count actually. Until like the fun fact is a lot of killings happen during the performance on opening night. The first real kill of the 10 years is done actually at the what's it called? Done but the night before opening night by the killer, and they call him the metal killer, and he wears the kabuki mask like that they're supposed to be doing because he sings in a lot of heavy metal. Anyways, the one thing I want to say, also the kids are assholes, is because when she gets the part, there's like a whole list of production. People start gasping, yo, do you hear she's a worker? And also, her mother was the lead role in like 10 years ago in this play. And she says she was the great lay of Broadway, meaning she fucked everyone to get her parts, which somewhat technically true. And her mother is technically, or the things have rubbed off on her daughter, because the guy won't put her in the lead role unless he fucks her. He only really interested in her for her body, not her actual voice, even though she sings incredibly well, Camilla. Anyways, that was the first kill. I don't remember exactly all the kills exactly. I know the weapons he uses are like I could say a serrated blade, like a saw kind of blade, but not a saw, and a knife. And let me just tell you, he's kind of like Chucky and Freddy in the fact that like he'll make puns. Like the first kill, he literally cuts this guy's tendon right here on his leg. Here, I'm gonna put the video right here. Like right here, so bad it's like if he walks, it break, and then he can't walk, and he just says break a leg and kicks him and breaks the tendon of the leg, and the leg basically snaps in half. So his foot snaps in half and slash. So I was cracking up at that, but it's anyways, the killer turns out to be Buddy. The reason why Buddy is actually is killing people is because what we don't realize is that Roger is the actual killer, is the killer who killed his mom that night 10 years ago. In the reason why, and in a huge climax fight with scene with Camilla dressed in her garb, because she's the lead role in the play. says to everyone, she says that Roger killed their mom. I think her name was Kaylee or something like that, or Kelly or something, Kaylee or something, because she had cheated on him with someone else. And in this, actually, the coolest way possible, they do a flashback scene to the part where you see him rubbing, like, kind of sultry, rubbing against her, and you hear Leroy or something like an L word, Lloyd or something. We can't be doing this. Roger might find out. Roger will find out. And then all you hear is, I have found out. And it reveals Roger, and then you reveal Roger's takes off the mask, and Roger just stabs her in the throat. And then throws her body into the mirror. Which is pretty brutal if you ask me. Anyways, so yeah, and then he has those other sing and dance number, which the killer when he's doing it. I'm just gonna put up the 2 songs that I think you should listen to, on the description. So that, and basically the end of the movie is somehow it's a raving success. Roger is murdered by Camilla, but while he's being attacked by her, someone pulls out a saw, I could say, for like equipment, and he just basically puts it in his stomach, like does it in his stomach, and there's a lot of blood and entrails everywhere. In the end, Camilla, it ends up working. They go to Broadway, and Camilla is the lead star and is now a star like her mother was. And she has a flashback to she thinks that the killer's gonna kill her, and it's really just a dream, or you could say a nightmare, or like a vision or something. I don't know. It's not real. And then the last thing you hear before the end of the movie is 5 minutes till curtain, which means 5 minutes till you're on stage, and then that's it. That was the end of the movie. Great musical, great movie. Definitely go check out Stage Fright. It's $3 to rent on $3.99, so $4 to rent on demand. If you have on demand, definitely go check it out. I will leave this in the description to this video the 2 songs that I want you to go see. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I will see you in the next video.